My dad met my mom up in Elba when he returned from his mission. He probably knew her before he left, but they both lived up in Elba. And that's where they got together, and that's where the union took place.
They actually got married in Elba?
No, they were married in Salt Lake City.
In the temple?
Yeah.
Where had your dad gone on his mission?
Norway. Trondheim, Norway.
So they get married in Salt Lake, and do they immediately set up home in Declo, or?
No. They farmed up there, and he run his mother's place for a year or two. And I don't know, as I recall, the first, whether it was the first year after, they went up to Idaho Falls, or American Falls, or someplace up there. Worked up there for part of the year, and then come back, and he ran his mother's place, but the other two boys, they thought he was getting too rich, and so they wanted to get in on the act. So I think that's when they moved off and went down to Declo, where his sister was married to John James.
So he actually was farming his sister's place?
Huh?
So he ended up farming his sister's place, or did he buy in? Or?
No, it was 40 acres there south of Uncle John's.
And you say he just didn't like the row crop farm?
I guess that was the main reason. I don't know how long they were there, really. Whether Joel was born down there, or Floyd born there, and I was born there. I don't know whether Elma was born there after they went to Elma. But while they were down there, they stayed, several years. He got out timber up in Elba and hauled it down there and built a little house.
He hauled timber clear from Elba down to Declo?
Yeah. They lived in a tent one winter while he built that house. It was so cold that winter he froze the sides of his hands trying to build the house.
Nobody to help him out, or?
Oh, I suppose he got a little help off and on, but I doubt it very much.
So you were about 3 when you ended up moving up to Elba?
Yeah. He bought a place from a guy named Wells Hadfield. Right there by his cousin Charles Ottley.
How many acres did he buy?
50 acres.
Do you remember how much he paid?
I know he had an awful hard time paying. The Depression came about that time, and there was several years there that all they were able to do was pay the interest on the place.
Were they financing it through the bank, or from the guy that they bought it from?
Well, that's
So what's the? You say didn't initially they just have like a 1 or 2 room house there, and then they build on the back, or?
They built a 1 room house down west of what ended up to be our garden down there by a big old willow tree. I don't know how long we lived in that. Then they moved it up where the present house area, where the present house is, and built another room onto it. So we had a kitchen and then a living room, bedrooms combination. We lived in that for quite a long time. So he went up and got out logs and had them run through a mill and squared on two sides, and they laid out there in front of the house for years before we ever got around to building the other house. Didn't have enough money really to get started, too busy to do it.